Hi.
Hey, welcome to my.
Only two dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance, taking a chance.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Today is Friday, July 22nd, and we're so thankful that you can be here. What you're watching is a program that we're going to have Thank you for being here. Yat e, washde, ola, manahu. Today is July 22nd, 2022, and Avril and Associates would like to welcome you for today's live event. It's so great to see you all. Let us know where you're checking in from. We're so happy to see you and to bring you some fun, some midday pick-me-up conversation with some amazing laughs and some amazing ladies. Let us know in the chat where you're checking in from. It's so great to have you here. Um, I'm really excited that we can see you and be here virtually in a safe space. Thank you for being here. We love that you're here. We are so excited to have you here. So, Hioho, Mitakiape, Avril Cordova, Machiape, Malakota, and Taos Pueblo. My Thama is Joseph Conquilla Cordova. My Ina or my Ka is Patricia Crow Cordova. I am sixth generation from Chief Red Cloud. I'm the owner operator of AC and Associates. I'm a mother, community member, a oh what else am I? I am all that and a bag of chips. That's what I'm gonna say. So hi from Porterville, California. Thank you for being here. Hi, Jennifer from Kentucky. Thank you for being here. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you for being here. I want to introduce my co-hosts. They're on the screen. There's some amazing women, and I'm going to have them say hello. So we'll start with the amazing and beautiful and mother, boo, 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 Justine Medina.
Hi, yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Malakit. This is my home. I play the piano. No, I don't. It's a virtual background. My name is Justine Medina. I am Navajo. I'm also Ho Chunk and Menomonee. One of my funnest and newest roles is that I'm a mother to a 4-month-old. I am located actually in the Bay Area. In Brentwood, California. I used to live in Los Angeles, but I moved up here now. And I'm also a community member and just excited to be here and chat with everyone. And I'll go ahead and pass it over to Jennifer.
Hi everyone, aloha, skugsiatic, ani napchuguk, Jennifer Varenchik. Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Varenchik. I'm from the Tohono O Nation, and I am coming to you today from the illegally occupied Kingdom of Hawaii on the island of Oahu, and I live in Kahalu. And I'm just happy to be here. I am, like I mentioned, I'm Tohono O. I was born in Los Angeles, raised in the San Francisco Bay Area in a small town called Danville, and then moved back to Los Angeles, and then eventually found my way here to Hawaii. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm a filmmaker. I'm also formerly a community organizer in Los Angeles, and just excited to be here. And I can't wait to talk to everyone. So that's a little bit about me. So back to Avril.
Thank you, Jen, for being here. Thank you, Justine, for being here. It's been an amazing day. It's been a hectic day, actually. I always want it to be an amazing day, but it has been crazy. I'm really excited that you can be here. And I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, powwows.com, also Phoenix Indian Center, who have provided 2 amazing Native youth to be interns with AC and Associates. So shout out to our moderators in the background, Andreas and Seneca. Boo, boo, boo. They have totally, done some amazing things. I've had them for interns. I'm having them for interns for 3 weeks. So in the 2 weeks that I've had them, they've already done a virtual talking circle, a Native Youth talking circle, and this event. And we're also going to have an event next week, which we'll show you later. Um, but we're just excited to be here, and I'm excited to be here. It's been a long time since I've been online. There's been a lot of things happening, from having COVID to recovering to just life. Life happens, and I'm just really excited to be here. So I'm going to just say hello to a couple people again in the chat. Frida Garcia, thank you for tuning in from Los Lunas, New Mexico. Songtree Payochi, thank you for checking in from Farmington, New Mexico. We're going to go ahead and say hi to Leslie. Thank you from checking in from Illinois. And I am coming to you live from the Tongva territory, which is also known as Los Angeles, California. And we always like to start our shows off in a good way. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to say a prayer. And I have my shell here. And in this shell, I have some California white sage. So normally I go and harvest sage. And usually when I'm wrapping sage in a good way, saying my prayers, leaves fall off and leaves disconnect from it. So I always like to save those leaves, those small leaves that didn't make it to the bundle. They I can use them for individual prayer. So I like to start my events off by praying. So I'm gonna go ahead and light this California white sage and say a brief something for us to have a good time. Creator, come to you today with open hearts and open minds, thankful for the many blessings that you provide us on a minute, monthly, second basis, from the ability to walk, talk, be here today, to laugh, to see and talk to some amazing and beautiful individuals. Thank you for the individuals that are watching. Thank you for the individuals that are taking the time to watch, to listen, to laugh with us, and to know that we're all going through something, whether it be grief, depression, financial issues, anything that we're struggling with. Please continue to watch over these amazing and beautiful individuals that are watching now, are listening. May you watch over them as you watched over me. May you bless them as you've blessed me. Continue to keep them healthy, wealthy, and safe. Continue to keep them in abundance of many blessings. Thank you for allowing me to be here today, and thank you to our sponsors. May their programs continue to thrive. Ta'a pila mayaye, gracias, atiehet, ajonasle, 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 ajonasle. Amen. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and bring on our guests. And we are going to start having some conversations. So when we originally had talked, it's so good, first of all, to see you guys. Haven't seen you in forever.
I
But
know. I want to just hear from Justine. How are you, and how's life now as mother?
Like I said, I've been telling people, I feel like I'm crawling all on my home now. I feel like the first few months I've just been inside, especially because of COVID. I don't want to take baby out too much,
Yeah.
but I've been good. Well, after the whole birth process, oh my gosh, I don't know. I new respect to mothers. Like I just, I just didn't know. I didn't know what to expect or anything like that. But I was just like, oh my gosh, what your body goes through is insane. Before this, I thought I was pretty healthy. I was in shape and everything like that. I was like, my body's preparing for anything. But yeah, my body just went through a lot. So recovering from that, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, whoo, that was a whirlwind. I had a couple of scares because I did get sick after and had to go back to the doctor's office. But now everything's better. Baby's sleeping in this cradle board right now, and I'm happy. I'm alive. I made it. Now just forever to go.
Well, I'm really happy for you and for Matt, for baby Jaden, and just it's really great to see you. So I'm happy to be like in this space. And we can't be together physically, but we can be together virtually. So here we are.
Yay, thanks for asking. Yeah. I'm the type that be like, you want to see pictures? But no. Just spend all day. I can spend all day just looking at them.
I know. I'm sure. How many pictures do you take a day?
Oh my gosh, probably 10 or more. I send them to everyone.
You can add me to that list. I would love to see baby Jaden.
Okay, I'll add you too.
So our
now you're
topic
taking pictures
was
of baby. Now you're taking pictures of baby instead of selfies, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
both selfies, like group selfies now.
Mm-hmm. No, they're definitely just of Jaden. No more selfies. If I do, it's by mistake. One of those like front-facing camera mistakes. Like, oh. So, our topic for today, I think we had. I know Jen talked to me about topic, and also Ava talked to me about that topic. So, whatever topic we want to discuss.
Teeny, just bring up the first one. We'll do both of them.
Okay, so or maybe we can ask the audience what we want to talk about, whoever's watching. So I know the first topic that we had in mind, one of the we brought up is like talking about the times where we were broke, like, and looking back and just like talking about those times when didn't have money, but we made it, we survived, and like how we can look back and laugh at that. So that's one of the topics. And the second topic, I'll go ahead and let Jen speak to that.
The second topic is basically it's a little controversial, so let's just I don't even know how to explain it. But I will it has to do, I think, with cyberbullying is like the general topic. But in I did want to talk about the first one about our I remember, what was it called? That time I was so broke.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go with that one.
We can start there, and if we move into the other one, that's good. I think I fired that off last night when I was like, but I'm calm now. So
okay, we'll fill it in with laughter. That time I was so broke. Let's see. I guess we can start off with the questions. And I'll go ahead and ask them and then also share my story. So that time I was so broke. So the reason why I came up with that topic, because I was thinking about like, oh, how can we make, our podcast like funny and lighthearted? And I feel like whenever I bring up those times I was so broke, like when I thought my car was gonna get repoed, that time I was eating at Costco, like food, like that was my going out. Just sharing those stories and those moments. So I guess I'll ask April first, like, what was that? When that topic comes to your mind, that time I was so broke, like, what is like the humorous topic where you can laugh about it now that came to mind?
There's a lot of times. But I want to highlight this comment that was made. That time I was so broke, I made bologna cheese for lunch. Yuck. That is funny. That's hilarious because I love bologna, by the way, and it has to be the golden brick kind of cheese, the commod cheese. So you're so broke, when you're talking about commods, and that's just reality. There's been a lot of times when I've been so broke, even within this whole year, when I thought like I'm always worried about money. I mean, I might have, more than a couple bucks in my bank account, but honestly, now as I get older, or I am older, I need to stop worrying about my financial needs and remember the blessings that I have, because I don't necessarily I see my bank account dwindling as as a entrepreneur, as an individual that doesn't work a 9 to 5, I'll never go back to 9 to 5. I don't think. Not yet. I'm not that broke yet. But I mean, I can live, 2 months without having any work. And I was telling this to Justine the other day, is like, um, I paid off my car. I've been 2 months without like work. My bank account is dwindling and I'm like worried about the next paycheck, but I have a roof over my head. I have food. I have gas in my car. I can spend time with my grandchildren. So it's just me worrying about, oh my gosh, I have no bank. I don't have enough money to go get a pedicure, or I don't have enough money for Starbucks. And I need to be okay with the blessings that I have around me. When I pray, I always say to be, how do I pray? Um, Healthy, wealthy, and safe. But wealthy to me is not money wealthy, it's wealthy in blessings. So that's, I just need to, in my own mindset, be okay with my wellness. And one of the things that I've heard from an amazing woman, Robin, she always tells me, you need to be financially well as well. Like your mental wellness, you need to have financial wellness too. And I just appreciate that, hearing that from somebody, but as long as I have a roof over my head and, my family, I can be here for them with medical issues, or be able to take them to, their doctor's appointments. I'm well. I'm financially well. I'm broke, but I'm not a joke. That's it. The end. La la la.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, there's some times where you're just so broke, like in the midst of it all, you just get so lost in it, and like you feel like I am never gonna have money. And I think it was Jennifer who told me this when I was younger, and I still remember it to this day. Like money comes and goes, and it comes in waves, and there's always going to be money. And yeah, and that was probably the time I was broke and just venting to you. You told me that. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, those times you're broke eating sandwiches. And it reminds me of this time too. And I shared this story because I think it's so funny. The time I was really broke was thinking when I lived in Denver. And I took Aaron climbing. Um, and of course, it was on my credit card. And then, but when we were there, I was like, okay, Aaron, let's go get something to eat now. And then Aaron he was like 6 or 7. And Aaron's my nephew. And he said really loud, he's all, but Titi, you have no money. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I was like, I'm living off a credit here. Like, let's go. But of course, I was younger then. Just those times make me laugh. And now I can laugh about it. But in the midst of it, I didn't have any money. Like, I was going to, owe for that. But those are times, and coming out of that is always, you have to count your blessings, Jennifer, are there any things that come to your mind that make you just laugh and like that time I was so broke?
I think the one that I always think about, I mean, there's different instances, but one that I always think about was when the time I ran out of gas on the 5 freeway. It was late at night, or it wasn't like that late, but it was dark, and it was kind of by Dodger Stadium or the zoo. And I got off on that exit when you're going north on the 5, and you cross over the freeway to get towards, like, you cross over the freeway to get towards the zoo, I think. And I knew, like, I didn't have any money, and I knew I was running out of gas, but I was like, I can make it, and I didn't make it. I got up, I was like, I'm not going to make it. So I got off of the off ramp, and now I'm in the middle of, like, over the freeway on the side of the on ramp. I thank goodness I had a cell phone that was charged and working, and I called a friend, and he had to come and, like, get me. Then we had to go get gas and come back. And I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I remember with various friends running out of gas, and like they would call and we would have to like hustle and go get them. And so that was like, that happened in my 20s and 30s a lot. Now that I think about it, I'm like thinking about, oh, that time it happened to her, that time it happened to me. But at the time, it's like it's panic, And I remember thinking like, is it ever going to be okay? Am I ever going to be in a place where like I'm not freaking out about money? And I have to say, just keep holding on. And I think also a big part of it is Native people, we find humor in everything. And I remember like laughing and crying at the same time while being on the side of that overpass by myself. Like, what is it gonna, why? But obviously, we made it through, we made it to the other side. And I lived through it. I mean, there's so many other stories, but that's one that it immediately every single time comes to mind. Yeah, so it's not fun and it's hard, but it obviously builds character. So
I like that. It builds character. I think I was telling someone who just recently graduated, and they don't know what to do or anything like that. They don't have an income, and that's exactly what I said. I was like, you know what? If you didn't get lost and you weren't broke at a point in time after graduating or something, like, who are you? I don't trust you. Like, because those moments, those struggles, we all learn together. But I've definitely done that. I've driven on the 5 with no gas, going somewhere with the light on and trying to go back with the light on.
And I have a friend, his name's Mel, and we talk about how we would find like free activities to do, in Los Angeles. That very lucky because there's always like parks and bands and concerts and things going on. And we went to Ciclavia. Do you guys, I don't know if you guys remember or if they still have Ciclavia, where they shut down the streets and it's all bikes. And we were we went and we were riding our bikes on. It was so much fun. And we made these grand wishes. At the time we were both single, we were both like struggling. And when we get together now, we both like think about how life has totally changed from that day. And he has this saying where we're familiar with the red, meaning like driving in the red, because both his partner and my partner are like, when the gas gets to half tank, you have to fill it up. Like you can't, like if it's a quarter of a tank, they're like, you got to fill it up, we're running out of gas. And for me, I'm like, how much, like, I don't have to go for like another week or whatever, like, because I'm familiar with having to be in the red because I just don't have any money for gas. So I agree, I am not the type of person to, when it gets to half, I have to fill it. I won't ever be one of those people. But now I don't have to let it get all the way to the red. Like, and well, now I have an electric car, so that doesn't matter at all. But I mean, it's really changed a lot. And Avril, I know that you have been there with me. You have helped me throughout the many, many years that we've been together. Times where like you would want to go out and I'd be like, I can't, I don't have any money. And you're like, I got you. And it was always just like, oh, thank God, because I would have FOMO. Like, I want to go out with you guys. I remember one time there was an event. It was a big event. And we had been talking and planning about this event for a long time. We were so excited. It was going to be like a big, night out in LA. And you came over and I was like, I can't go. I don't have any money to get in. Like, it was like a $25 fee to get in. Plus then you have to like get food and drinks when you're there. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't go. And you're like, don't worry about it. And I was like, what? And you're like, I got you. And it was just like, those are the moments that just make you feel so appreciative. You know what I mean? Appreciative that you, even though you're going through this hard time, there's always someone who isn't going through a hard time during that period, and they can be a blessing. And that was like eye-opening to me, and really made me feel good when I was in a situation where I, like, the world just seemed so like small, and I was barely making it through. So to have someone come in like that, who, you know, a lot of times people, they might be struggling too, but they have enough, you know, and I think that's a quality that Indigenous people, you know, we always have just like just enough to be able to share. So thank you for that, Avril, all those years ago, although I picture it in my head so clearly.
I'm laughing at a couple of things, and I'm laughing, one, because I'm not the kind of person that fills it up at half a tank or a quarter of a tank. My mother-in-law and my daughter are like that. And I'm laughing because it just happened to me like this week. What's today? Today is Thursday. Like on Monday, I have just came back from, so I'm between two. I live in Los Angeles, but I travel to Las Vegas a lot because my grandkids and my family is out there as well. So I travel between both states a lot. So I came home and I had a quarter of a tank, and I was like, okay, well, I have a lot to, I have a lot. I'm not going anywhere, so I'll just fill it up when I fill it up. Besides, I got home like at like 7 o'clock in the night, so I was tired traveling. And then the other day, she wanted to go to like Costco or something, so I took them to Costco, and I was like, it was my light was flashing. It wasn't flashing, but it was on, and I was so nervous. And she was in the car, and she's the kind of person that's like quarter tank, and I was like, don't tell her because she's gonna say, why don't you fill it up? And I was like, we go to Costco, and then now there's these longo lines, and all in my head I'm just praying. I'm just like, please don't get me stuck. Please don't get me stuck. And then the Costco guys like, go this way, and I was like, I'm just trying to get to the shortest line because it's on I'm on empty, like empty. And he's all, well, if you shut down, we're just gonna have to push you. And luckily, you know, I made it. And in my head, after, I was just like, thank you to Kashala for just getting me here safely with my two elderly in-laws in the car. I'm like thinking in my head, I'm gonna have to be pushing and they're gonna be driving, like trying to get you know. So I am, I hear you what you're saying. It still happens to me. And I also need to remember, because when I'm driving, I was like, I should just stop. You know, I should just stop and put gas in. I always got to remember to listen to my inner voice, and sometimes I don't. And I still question why I don't, but I need to continue to listen to that. Um, so yeah, that's the story. I had something else that I want to say, but it'll come back to me. Oh yeah, I remember. I have AAA too, so I'm like, if I, you know, if I run out of gas, I'll just call AAA to get like a free 3 gallons, because freaking gas is expensive. And if I'm paying for the service, then hopefully they can, you know, fill it up. And I've used that a lot of times. Trust.
That's probably why we're all friends, because I definitely wait. That's probably, yeah, I definitely wait to all that. But definitely, I see there's like some action in the chat, and I think Avril does an amazing job at inviting all of our people in the chat to come in. So I'll let Avril take it away and invite people into the conversation.
Okay, so there's a lot of going ons in the chat, and we'll read a couple of them. But also, what we want to do is, if you want to come on with us and talk with us, I just put a link in the chat where you can click that link and join us. Your hair doesn't need to be done. Your makeup doesn't need to be done. I just put my bling earrings on just to look, you know, presentable. But if you want to come on and chat with us, then click that link. But let's read some of the chat that says, so Songtree Payochi says, Sorry, Jen. That time when I was so broke recently made me think of my mortality and like really feel reflected on cultural values. I have what I need on I have I have what I need, my identity as an indigenous woman, leader, mother, intellect, and the ability to fail and rebound, plus a roof and car, family, and creator's plan for me. The next one is thank you, Songtree, for saying that. Appreciate that and sharing your story. You know, we're all going through something. So being able to share stories with each other just helps us laugh about it and get through. Jennifer says, my parents went through the Great Depression. As children, we learned a lot of the old ways and how to cook, preserve, do well without much. Glad I learned those skills, especially now. Yes, I always, one dad and a lot of my family always saved. They weren't hoarders, but they were hoarders. I mean, we weren't had piles of things around, but they always saved things because they knew that they can use it later for whatever reason. Also, learning those great meals. I mean, one of my favorite meals, one of my daughter's favorite meals that I make for her, and that we've always made in our family is cut up hot dogs, potatoes, and corn. Um, Fried potatoes, just cut them up, and that's one of her favorite meals. And depression meals can be some of the greatest, but they can be great, but they used what they had in the kitchen to get through. Like soups are a big thing to feed a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think when like going back to that comment, and just makes me think a lot about just like capitalism, like how we're so extractive of things, and we so want, like even myself, I want more, like I want more things, and like I think we even saw that during the pandemic and during the formula shortage too. Like even though like I was getting scared of the formula shortage, like I even like, and I'm nursing and I wanted to buy formula because of this panic, and I know people were probably hoarding some formula, and people were probably hoarding toilet paper that they didn't even need, but like as indigenous peoples, of course, like I always want to practice of like take just what you need. And you don't need a lot of it, but just take what you need, and whatever you need, just give it to someone else or something like that. So I think being broke has also taught me that lesson too, is that like you have what you need right now, and whatever else is just like kind of like extra. So what does like broke really mean sometimes, of course it's zero in the bank, but like just seeing all the stuff. But wanted to throw that in there, and how capitalism plays a lot in it, and what we define as being broke, even though we have so much to be thankful for.
thank you for sharing that. I definitely hear and can relate to what you're saying about, more, wanting more, or and then also reflecting back on our cultural ways or traditional ways, like you said, not taking more than what you need. Um,
I'm thinking
and
right now, like, we just take just enough gas for us. We don't need more gas. Like, go ahead, April.
just knowing too, like if it's on, if the light comes on, I have 30 more miles that I can drive. So how many more miles do I have? And I like the cars that show you this much miles until it's not, you're not going anywhere.
So we're being resourceful, right?
Yeah. Go ahead and read the next comment.
You want to read it, Jennifer?
Sure. My mother always said to enjoy your money while you're alive, because when you die, you can't take it with you. Enjoying at a positive attitude. I grew up poor, and my money that I earn, I can buy the things I never had and give myself a comfortable living. Yeah, for sure. I know that feeling when I had like this really good feeling when I realized that like, oh, I can buy this now. Like, just, I don't know. I think when you don't have money and when I'll speak from my own experience. When I didn't have money and I would miss out on things, because a lot of times I would tell people I was busy, but really I didn't have money, so I couldn't go like, to the movies or to the bar or to the whatever. Like I couldn't go do those things because I just didn't have money. So I just, oh no, I'm not able to do that. And I just stay home by myself and be all sad. But like now I'm very appreciative. Like it made me see, who are my friends, what are my blessings that I have now. Like always had a roof over my head. I always had family and friends that love me. I can't say I always had food because I didn't. Now I'm sure if I told somebody that like I have no food, someone would have been there, but that was like a pride thing, like I just kept it to myself. And then if I was out and about in public, and there happened to be food, I'd be the first one in line. I'd be like, I'd be right there. I have my little baggies and Tupperware for my purse.
You're watching.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I remember a time, Jen, when it was like that, you were on a budget, a strict budget, and we would go to the 99-cent store by House Greenbush, and you would, just be getting food from the 99. And one of the great ideas that you suggested, which I don't think ever happened, was making a cookbook out of the items that you purchased from the 99-cent store. So I totally remember those times, but I also remember the memories, how we would laugh in the store and not even thinking about, how broke we were, but trying, just being together and sharing space, So I remember a lot
Yeah.
of those times too.
I think our friends,
And you always
laughter can really help us travel through, make it through those dark valleys, because when you have someone else by your side, it just makes it easier. You know what I mean? Like it's at least you have someone to laugh with and you can both be sad together. But like I don't ever remember being like, I remember being sad by myself, but I don't remember being like sad and depressed with other people. Like I just kind of kept it to myself. But I don't know, Avril. I don't remember if we ever were like, we're so broke. I don't remember that. I just remember laughing about it, actually.
Yeah, same. Like I remember those conversations with my friends or even my sister. Like it was more like laughing about how broke we were, and maybe because I told people that we're comfortable with instead of like people who would shame me, I guess, for being broke. Because shoot, I'm probably already shaming myself for feeling that way. But it's nice that you can go laugh now and laugh, find humor in it, because you could just sit there and just feel so bad about not having money. And going back to that comment too, is like buying things that you want now, especially now that you have money. I remember one time, I came across some money, where I just kind of just blew through it, and I went through therapy, and I just felt guilty for blowing through that money. I was felt really guilty, like, why didn't I invest it? Why didn't like I could have this much if I invested it? And when I went to my therapist and we were talking about it, she was like, "Well, what did you do with it?" And I said, "Okay, I paid off my car. I went to go visit my friend in Ecuador. I got into therapy, and I used that money." And she's like, "Okay, you did what you know with that money." She's like, "If you know how to invest, you would go and invest that money, but you weren't taught that." And I was like, I wasn't, I don't know the language or anything like that. And so doing with what I know with my money, it made me comfortable and feel comfortable spending it. So even though I felt guilty, I don't know why I felt guilty about not doing something I didn't know about, if that makes sense. But I did use it in, I think, a responsible way of at least paying off my car and going to therapy. Mm-hmm.
I had a similar situation as well of coming into a little bit of money, and I blew through it as well. But I also, again, I wasn't necessarily as well. I probably was like, why did I, spend it on this, or why did I spend it on that? I could have still had money and like invested it, like you said. My daughter and my son-in-law often talk about when they do come into money, what they want to do with it is buy real estate or buy, something that will be profitable later down the lines. And I appreciate um, that, even though I personally don't have a sense of financial knowledge, um, I appreciate that my mother-in-law taught my daughter a lot of things, from using coupons. To this day, like even today, I was like, "Oh, I'll take you to lunch after work and we can go to like Norms or something." She's like, "Yeah, I have coupons." And I just, like laugh. But I also know that, she would be proud of when she went to the store and saved $90 on a $200 purchase. And my daughter, is still the same way. When she got married, she didn't want to have a big old giant wedding where she spent thousands and thousands of money on other people. So basically, what we did was she got married at court, and after we went to San Pedro Pier and we all ate as a family. Her thinking was too, like, let's have a destination wedding for us, for our family, so that we can have a vacation at the same time. So that's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, definitely learning things you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to give us, we have like 12 minutes left. And well, I know I always have so much to say, so I want to make sure we wrap up now. But I think a question we can end on is, what would you tell your younger self about being broke?
That's a good one. I think I would tell myself that it's gonna be okay. Like, you're gonna make it. Like, I spent so much time thinking about it. Like, it was all consuming. Like, just this pressure of not having money felt like it was just a constant in my life. And now that I am not in that situation anymore, I can tell when people are in that situation, especially if they like bring it up a lot or make a mention about it or something. And I realize, like, I spent so much of my brain power on being worried about it. So I would tell my younger self, yeah, you can worry about it, but do your best to, like, set a time. Like, worry about it for 20 minutes a day and then like move on, because otherwise it's just going to be around, like, constantly in your back of your mind, and that just like takes the zap out of you. And you might miss things because all you're doing is you're focusing on like your misery. So I would just myself to just hold on and know that you're going to get out of this struggle, and to enjoy as much as the free things in life that you can, meaning like your health, your family, your friends, the things that you have that are irreplaceable. Just enjoy those things and just know that you're going to make it. Like, hold on, you're going to make it.
Awesome, Jen. Thank you for sharing. I'll go next. What would you tell your younger self about being broke? Well, my younger self and today. But I agree with what you said, Jen. You know, worrying about it causes a lot more stress than not worrying about it. Or there's a lot of stressors that bring my shoulders up to my ears. However, being able to write out a budget and possibly also stick to that budget, or see where I'm spending my money, and is it something that I really need to spend? Do I need to go to Starbucks every day to get a matcha tea? No, I don't. So what I did was I went to Costco and bought the matcha tea and make it in my home on a regular. So what I would tell my younger self about being broke is just that: make a budget, understand that money can bring a lot of things, but it doesn't necessarily bring happiness. That's it.
Yay, thank you for sharing. I think for me, what I tell my younger self about being broke, I think for sure giving myself grace was the biggest thing. I think just being like, okay, you're fine. You know, like what everyone mentioned here, like recognizing what you do have, the free things. I think I would have asked more questions of like understanding why I was broke would be a good thing to tell myself. Like, why is I broke? Like, and you know, some of it comes from like lived experience, what my parents experienced, you know, and how that gets like passed down and what they know and everything. So I think that's one thing I probably would have been reflected on, of like giving myself grace because, you know, of what being broke was kind of consistent in my family. And I think that's just it. And I like what Jennifer said too. When I see other people doing like broke or making jokes and stuff like that, now that I have, you know, I don't have a lot of money, but whenever I do have extra money or something, I'll give like someone $5 for coffee or something like that. Like send them a Venmo, just as so thankful, because you never know. You know, you never know when someone's broke. I didn't talk about it often because I was always ashamed of it, unless you're really close to me, or looking at my phone over my shoulder and seeing my bank account. Or you know those moments when you check your bank account before you're gonna go somewhere, like, like no, never mind. But yeah, that's what I tell my younger self: just give yourself grace during this time and learn why you're going through this experience and reflect on it. And yeah, pretty much it.
I appreciate you saying that, and just thinking about that as well with regards to giving yourself grace is, although you may be not financially well enough to do the things that require payment, you have, just reflecting back to those blessings again, you have food, you may have, you know, your bills paid, a house, a bed, or also remembering your blessings, like what you do have. And then just also, like Jen and Mel did, like researching the free events, you know, going to the park or making memory. How do we make memories that can bless us more than what money would? Because now to this day, I love to spend time with my grandkids. And I think that I can spend all day with them inside the house, and we can play games. We can, you know, use our imagination by making stuff out of cardboard, or, you know, I don't know, going back to just the simple ways of, instead of just the bigger things like going to extravagant places. That's it. We have somebody also that younger self, take advantage of resources that Indigenous organizations are offering.
Did you cut out, or is it just me? Oh.
Use our
Did I cut
voices.
out?
Yes. Use our voices at all ages to speak to what we need to thrive. Yes. I do remember being really excited about going to community meetings because there would be like potluck, you know, and it'd be, oh, free dinner, you know, or free lunch or whatever. Like, definitely, organizations can help with, you know, sometimes they even have like rent relief or utility relief, things like that. So there are places out there that sometimes can help.
Yeah, it just takes some extra work for that. It seems like a task to do, but I ended up doing something for like my medical bills too for Jaden because it's gonna be like $4,000 to spend, and I saw some tips on TikTok like how to get some charity care for it, and I applied to all those and got it covered. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I think it took a lot of time, but I was happy that bill got disappeared. But like I just want to say I'm all being mindful of time. We got 4 minutes. Like as we close out, like I don't know. April, you're so good at praying. I was gonna offer you to pray, like volunteer you to pray just about like any of the struggles that people are going through about being so broke. Because at the time you're just so aggravated and you can't see light at the end of the tunnel. And if you are feeling that way, just to breathe and give yourself some grace for that. Or if Jennifer, you want to lead us in prayer, I didn't volunteer myself.
I'll pass it to Avril. Are you okay, Avril?
Yeah, I'm okay. But before we do end, I want to share with our audience that this event and this online session is being brought to us by powwows.com. Thank you again, Paul, at powwows.com for allowing us to stream on your page. Also, Phoenix Indian Center, thank you for having the youth. I have two Native American youth high school students that helped with the video and are helping moderating. And we want to, they did 3 online events in the 3 weeks that I've had them. And our next event will be next Thursday. So if you all would like to join us, please feel free to log on again. Let me bring that back up. Log on again, and we'll be streaming again next Thursday from 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on Powwows. And this will be highlighting community in Indian country. So although we are talking about resources and services, next week we'll be providing some resources and services in your area that might be able to help you with those events or services in your area. So shout out to the moderators, Andreas and Seneca in the background, boo, 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 for making all of this come about. So yeah, we'll go ahead and thank you all for being here. I'll end with the prayer, and then Andreas, you can hit that end button when I'm done after we say goodbye. I'm gonna just like this and say, Creator, we come to you today and thank you for the laughs. Thank you for the reality. Thank you for sharing openly how it is that we got through some of our darkest times, some of our broke times. Thank you to the individuals that um, that put a comment in the chat and just join the conversation. If one person might be going through it, I'm glad that others can share their experience as well and share that they're able to now get through that and um, do other things. May continue to watch over these individuals here today online and those that are watching now live and in the replay. Continue to bless them, continue to be with them, continue to help them with their struggles of whatever it is that they're going through: grief, depression, divorce, marriage, whatever it is that they may be contemplating. Continue to know that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. There is a rainbow after those storms. Just watch over them, Continue to love them and bless them and be with them. Ta'a pilamayaye. Gracias et yehet. Ejonesle, 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 ejonesle. Amen. Aho. Thank you. We'll see you next Thursday, guys.